So we've tried out all the brand new FBO6 leaders, so it's time to do a tier list on all of the leaders in the entire game. You know what's up. You know what a tier list is, so there's not much introduction to do. I think we're getting to the point where there's just too many leaders to rank in a singular video. So what I'm going to do is from the next video onwards, we're going to use the same tier list, and then we're going to move them accordingly if they got a buff or a debuff, or they just moved positions regardless. We got 6 tiers here, obviously D all the way to Z. So let's jump into it. We should get the obvious out of the way, the Z tier. It's going to be Angel Coup as well as Majin Buu Evil or Buu Tanks. They still dominate the game. People complain about it. People are saying this is FBO 5.5 just because nothing really changed here. I definitely somewhat agree, but there is definitely some spice here and there that can definitely upset the whole situation. And this is not ordered. We'll probably say like Z is probably top 5, room for top 5 if there is top 5, so that there isn't one specific tier that is just flooded with full of leaders. Even though, yeah, there is a level between, I guess, Angel Goku and Buu Tanks compared to other leaders. I think if you put them in Z, they can definitely upset these two. A leader that can definitely upset these two is Diamond Vegeta. Diamond Vegeta is great. It's crazy how two new cards that leader lock to him, it makes him so good. Like the 4-cost Vegeta is so broken. The 5-cost Vegeta is so good. It definitely can struggle against Angel Coup, because if Angel Coup draws enough, then they get to the point where like the bottom decking means nothing because they'll just pick it up the next turn. That's what I've found out when versing Angel Coups. And probably the other problem I have with Diamond Vegeta is the leader swing. Obviously, I've been used to having a 40k swing, a 35k swing, or at least Angel Coup being like a 30k defense side. But this guy being just 20k feels like pretty bad in a way, because you're losing that extra aggression. But then his bottom decking power is just so good. Now, this would be my Z tier, and then we're going to move on to the S tier stuff. One of them is being Jiren. He's probably the best red deck in the entire game. Every deck has to build around that 4-cost Jiren. Jiren has this thing where he always pops out of nowhere and does well. Even though he's probably he doesn't win too many big events. It's just a deck you have to respect because of that 4-cost being so good on his leader ability. Another easy S rank is Zamasu. I mean, it's Zamasu. You got better blue stuff in this set, being the 1-cost bottom deck Earthling, so it's recyclable now. Androids is always just somebody you gotta respect as well, as they just get so much energy. It's so good. Broly, the new leader, is an obvious S tier. I mean, people do have to find a way to destroy the 8-cost to get rid of that chain. And if not, you have to rush down. So if you're not a rush down deck, then you need a way to get rid of it. And so you're building your deck around that, which sometimes are dead cards in other matchups. I think Namagoku is still very good. A very good green deck. Very, very strong. 30k swings. It feels the most traditional green without being a traditional green deck, and has some really good support as well. I still think Vegito is still around there. The variation is definitely a huge factor for him, but 40k swing is very, very strong. And then depending on how you build it, that 4-cost Floodgate is very nasty in a lot of matchups. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is doing very, very well. This is not ordered or anything like that, if I forgot to mention. I'm not really going to care about it too much. With how the decks are kind of rolling around, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta just works really well. You got the new Gallic Gun extra, which is very good. It's drawing you a card plus 15k, and he can play all the barrier cards and feel pretty safe. And then I'm going to be putting Baby as well as Gogeta in the S tier. I don't know which one is the better, because they all have like this, because both of them have this certain situation where they're really, really good. Gogeta able to keep the marker and keep creating the marker is still very, very strong. And then Baby having the 2-cost Trunks is just such a broken card. So I don't know which one's better at the end of the day, but they are somewhat in the same rank. They use almost the exact same cards. It's just a little bit of different support. The 6-cost Gogeta as well as the 1-cost Chi-Chi helps these two decks do their thing really, really well, and just be more aggressive and feel more safer. They don't have to play like a bounce back on the Jiren. They can just get rid of Jiren now fully, which is huge. Oh, and I forgot to mention Janemba. I mean, Janemba is just I think I overrated him in the last set. He's definitely a good leader. I don't think he's in the same level as the top, but he does do well in his own respective right. Of course, he's the best way to play the 4-cost freezer, being able to get rid of something straight away, which is pretty huge. All right, moving on to the A tier. This is like rogue decks, or like decks that if you do not like respect them and they get their turn or two to get the things rolling, then they are very, very strong. And I think that just goes to be any other black deck that is not Demon King Piccolo. So that's Bardock and SSJ for Goku. While we're on the topic of black, Demon King Piccolo's ass. I think black just relies on a lot of cards in their hand to be feeling really, really good. And the fact that he just can't draw on the front side and then has to discard one for certain effects to go off, and having to play the egg and having to waste your energy marker on a 3-cost that's probably going to get rid of in the next turn anyway, it feels real bad. It feels real bad. His leader's almost vanilla at the end game because you got to use that energy marker for like board clear or defense. You just don't even use that ability. I swear I didn't use that ability maybe once in a game, and then that's it. It's like, unless the enemy does nothing to your board, then Piccolo is good. But like, other than that, he's just ass. Anyway, if you get the ball rolling, you got Daima Super Saiyan Goku. I think he's, with the new Shin, he can be a very aggressive deck that if you don't deal with the 2-cost 30k Goku, because he can awaken really, really fast with the new Shin, like, you have to deal with a lot of pressure. It's like a 25k, a 20k from the leader swing, double 30, and then one of them is getting buffed by 10k, which is actually ridiculous. A lot of pressure, and then the next turn they're Glorio, and then they're just doing it again. So if you don't deal with their board, it actually can be pretty fire. On the same line, we can go with the Daima Goku. I mean, they haven't really changed too much. I think Android 13 does spice up the deck a little bit, but it's nothing too crazy. They still rely on the 6-cost. And then Beerus can also be in the same tier as well. Not entirely bad, but the presence of Green Brawly really screws them up, I think. Because they don't have the answer to deal with a 50k body. That's the hardest part. And they're not as aggressive as the Daima Super Saiyan 2 Goku. But this guy's got the crit, and this guy is just generically pretty good overall. I think Goku is also in A. He's got some good blue stuff, but at the end of the day, you're relying on that Jackie Chun and the cross-arm dive strategy. If you can get rid of their 1-drop, it takes an extra bit of time. It is a deck where you have to respect not going down to 2, though, because you know you're just going to get into, like, potentially a 100k swing off of 3 cards in your hand, in their hand. So they're a very aggressive deck, but if you can survive long enough, I think any blue can really deal with Kid Goku pretty well. Against other decks, maybe Blue Goku is pretty solid. I just wouldn't say it's a reliable choice to be playing in regionals or anything like that. You got the new King Goma as well. I think he's pretty solid, honestly. He is actually a pretty good deck. You just need that one turn. You can keep King Goma 4-cost alive for 1 turn, and you can play another one on the next following turn, the deck goes absolutely mayhem. I think you pretty much almost win at that point, unless you are one of these 3 decks, I would say. But this guy gets rid of the Goma so easily, so it's unfair. And then these guys do their own thing just to get, yeah. Like, Goma can do really, really well. I think he is a very strong deck. He could potentially be an S for sure. I really do like this deck. It's actually a really fun deck to use. I think also in A is Daima Vegeta, the Super Saiyan. He's pretty strong. He's got some of the good yellow cards that yellow have been introduced, but I think there can be some questionable turns with him, like playing 2-cost Bulma. It seems really good, but sometimes it's also a trap at the end, because you played the 2-cost Bulma and then what? You know what I mean? You've done your 230k swings, and then that's it. You haven't really presented any sort of threat outside of 2 leader swings. That's only drawn you 1. Like, you haven't presented any sort of board. The only thing that she does is, like, she seems threatening if she's kept standard. But a lot of decks can deal with that 2-cost 5k stat range anyway. All right, so that is the A tier. It's not bad, not bad. Let's move on to the B tier. These are, like, decks that are usable, but it's like, why use them? You know what I mean? So, like, example, like, Vegeta. Like, yeah, you have Pilafs and stuff like that, but you've got Vegito, you've got Angel Coup, you got Daima Vegeta now. Like, what is the point of... He's strong. He can do something, but, like, why? And same goes for Trunks. Pilaf's not saving these 2, all right? Pilaf is not saving these 2. they are not performing as well. Seems like UI Goku is like why he can be pretty good because all the reds are running the secret rare, but it's like why again? You awaken at 3, and then yeah, you get an extra potential protection or whatever, but the lack of draw just hurts at the end of the day. You're not like Jiren where you're drawing 2 off a ability or anything like that. You just actually can only draw 1 card per turn. I think Boo is a sleeper deck, no cap. The Barbary turning into Boo. The more these top tier decks are playing field cards, the better it's going to feel playing Boo. I swear on God, it is actually going to be really fun. And then you can just play the Barrier Boo as well, being able to produce a board at the end of the turn. It feels like Demon King Piccolo, but you actually are playing helpful stuff. It's more just Pui, but getting played out. But at the same time, it's like, why? It's like, why are we playing this? Cell is also in B. He's a ramper, but why play him when you can play androids? And then if Goku Black, if it is played right, being able to spawn out the 6-drop is still pretty strong. Playing out the 4 cost as well. That pretty much sums up Goku. If you can get that 6-drop, you're all good, you know? But he's definitely very linear to how he plays. It's not very flexible. I think the rest can go into C and D. Like, some of the worst decks in the game is right here. Like, Gohan is pretty ass. Like, there's zero reason to use him now at this point. A lot of decks are having a way to destroy 6 costs or higher. So now Vegito is kind of just like insta dead at the end of the day. It's like really gone. So he's like really dead. I think Piccolo is probably one of the worst decks in the game, other than like Top Crew, because Top Crew has no Kefla. You have to awaken at 3, no double strike that can be played cheaply. Yeah, it's too slow for him to awaken. So yeah, he's just kind of dead. I think you could definitely unban the Kefla here, at least make him somewhat usable, have a bit more consistency. Ginyu is just Ginyu. Like, you know how Ginyu works. Piccolo is somewhat okay. The 9 cost kind of just saves him a little bit, being able to survive that extra bit of turn if you can get to 9. The goal is just to get to 8-9 energy. So if you can get that as fast as possible, you're all good. But it's so much RNG involved that it's just not worth it. You could probably put him in D if you really want to. Yeah, Vegeta's there. I mean, he can be a very fun deck to play, but yeah. Goku as well as the Super Saiyan starter deck Goku. As vanilla red as they get. Broly, you can play a little fun game with the heals and whatever. I think Android 18 is maybe not a D tier. The thing is, like, the field is too much of is not worth the play. It is really not a worth the play because, yeah, you just play normal red with, like, a little bit of Android spice to it. But that field, you do not play. I've played the field, and it feels terrible in every certain situation. Probably the only situation where it might feel good is versing, like, blue in a wall of Pilafs. But, like, you just play 6 cost Goku at the end of the day and just get rid of it straight away. So it's like there's no point in using her, but like she's not horrid because she's got pretty good red stuff. Like, you can't tell me Android 16 is not bad, or that Android 17 that spawns out another 3 costs. Like, that is some good value stuff. And don't forget the Pilaf card, Dr. Flappy. That card bastard, bruh. That's a bastard card. That could potentially be better than a Pilaf one day if you get more good 3-drop androids. Cooler is unusable. Coolers can't be used. It cannot be used. Broly is fun. I think you could put him in B if you know how to balance your hand and get down to 1 safely to heal back up and just be annoying. Like, he's actually just a funny deck to use. Gohan, I don't think the 5-cost Gohan does him any justice, but he doesn't seem the worst. And then Frieza's probably a C tier. I don't think there's anything too important to be restanding anyway. A lot of these decks don't even care about the restand. They just keep them rested, and they're still fine. So, yeah, I just don't... Like, I've never really played, like, Boo or Janemba or even Goma or Vegeta. I'm like, damn, if only this wasn't rested. Type deal. So, yeah, I just think it's kind of pointless for Frieza at the moment. Very good in release events since he's super versatile, and there's actually cards where like, wow, cool, I get to restand it. Sick. But yeah, I think this is what the list is looking like for right now. Hopefully it doesn't change too much at the end of this set. We will see in FBO 7 if I got majority of this right. If my gut feeling. I think I do like how this list is looking like. I do think we have... I mean, these are the top two, but I think if there was a tier between Z and S, probably Diamond Vegeta goes there. But like, I gotta give him my respects. He went from D to Z with 2 cards. Like, there's not many decks that have done that at all. I don't think any deck's done that. So yeah, I mean, it is supported by just good blue stuff at the end of the day. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one as always. Until then,